Welcome to Learning Lounge. Today, we're diving into one of the most empowering and transformative self-help books of all time. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. This timeless classic has inspired millions of readers worldwide to confront their fears, embrace uncertainty, and live a life of courage and fulfillment. Let's dive in. Chapter 1 of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway sets the stage for understanding fear and its impact on our lives. Susan Jeffers introduces the idea that fear is a common experience everyone shares, regardless of age, gender, or background. She explains that while fear can be paralyzing and limit our potential, it is also a natural part of growth and can serve as a catalyst for personal development. Jeffers encourages readers to shift their perspective on fear, viewing it not as something to be avoided or eliminated, but as a signal that they are moving outside their comfort zone and toward growth. She emphasizes the importance of taking action despite fear, as doing so can increase confidence and empowerment. Overall, Chapter 1 lays the foundation for the book's central message that embracing fear and taking action is the key to living a fulfilling and meaningful life. Chapter 2 of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway is titled, What Are You Afraid of and Why? In this chapter, Susan Jeffers delves into the various fears that people experience and the underlying reasons behind them. She explains that while fears manifest in different ways for each individual, they often stem from a common root, a sense of powerlessness or a belief that one cannot handle certain situations or outcomes. Jeffers emphasizes the importance of identifying and understanding our fears to confront and overcome them. She introduces the concept of pain-to-power vocabulary, which involves reframing negative thoughts and beliefs into positive affirmations that empower us to take action despite our fears. Throughout the chapter, Jeffers provides examples and anecdotes to illustrate how different types of fears, such as fear of failure, rejection, or loss, can hold us back from reaching our full potential. She encourages readers to acknowledge their fears without judgment and to begin the process of transforming them into sources of strength and motivation. Chapter 3 of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers is titled, Where Did We Get All These Ideas About Fear? In this chapter, Jeffers explores the origins of the fears that hold us back and examines how societal conditioning, upbringing, and personal experiences contribute to the development of our fears. Jeffers delves into the concept of fear-based thinking, which is characterized by negative beliefs and assumptions that lead us to perceive the world as a threatening and hostile place. She discusses how these fear-based beliefs are often ingrained in us from a young age through societal norms, cultural influences, and familial dynamics. Through illuminating anecdotes and relatable examples, Jeffers illustrates how our early experiences shape our perceptions of fear and influence our behavior in adulthood. She highlights the role of parents, teachers, and authority figures in instilling fear-based beliefs in us, often unintentionally, as a means of protecting us from perceived dangers. Moreover, Jeffers examines the impact of societal messages and media on our perceptions of fear, emphasizing the prevalence of fear-mongering tactics used by various institutions to manipulate and control individuals. Throughout the chapter, Jeffers encourages readers to question and challenge the validity of their fear-based beliefs, urging them to reclaim their power and autonomy by adopting a mindset of courage and resilience. She emphasizes the importance of cultivating self-awareness and discernment to differentiate between rational fears that serve as genuine warnings and irrational fears that hold us back from realizing our full potential. In essence, Chapter 3 serves as a poignant reminder of the pervasive influence of fear in our lives and the importance of unraveling the layers of conditioning that perpetuate our fears. Through introspection and critical inquiry, Jeffers empowers readers to break free from the shackles of fear-based thinking and embrace a mindset of empowerment and possibility. Chapter 4 of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers is titled, Understanding Fear. In this chapter, Jeffers delves deeper into the nature of fear, providing readers with a comprehensive understanding of its psychological and physiological mechanisms. She begins by defining fear as a natural and instinctual response to perceived threats or dangers. Jeffers explains that fear is a primitive survival mechanism that has evolved over millennia to protect us from harm. However, she also highlights the fact that in modern society, many of the threats we perceive are not necessarily life-threatening, but rather stem from our perceptions and interpretations of events. Jeffers explores the concept of the comfort zone, which she describes as the psychological space in which we feel safe and secure. She explains that fear often arises when we step outside of our comfort zone and encounter unfamiliar or challenging situations. However, she emphasizes that growth and personal development can only occur when we are willing to push past our comfort zone and confront our fears head-on. Throughout the chapter, Jeffers provides readers with practical strategies for understanding and managing their fears. She encourages readers to adopt a curious and compassionate attitude towards their fears rather than viewing them as obstacles to be avoided or overcome. By approaching fear with an open mind and a willingness to learn, Jeffers argues that we can begin to unravel its grip on our lives and cultivate a greater sense of courage and resilience. Moreover, Jeffers explores the physiological aspects of fear, explaining how the body responds to perceived threats through the activation of the sympathetic nervous system. She discusses the fight-or-flight response, which is triggered when we encounter a perceived threat, and the role of adrenaline and other stress hormones in preparing the body to respond to danger. Chapter 5 of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers is titled How to Make a No-Lose Decision. In this chapter, Jeffers introduces readers to strategies for making decisions that empower them to move past their fears and pursue their goals with confidence. Jeffers begins by acknowledging that fear often paralyzes us when we are faced with making important decisions. She emphasizes that indecision is a form of decision-making, one that often leads to feelings of frustration and stagnation. Therefore, she advocates taking proactive steps to confront our fears and make decisions that align with our values and aspirations. One key concept Jeffers introduces in this chapter is the idea of reframing decision-making as an opportunity for growth and learning. Instead of viewing decisions as potential sources of failure or regret, she encourages readers to see them as valuable learning experiences that can lead to personal growth and development. To help readers overcome the paralysis of fear when making decisions, Jeffers outlines a practical decision-making process. This process involves identifying the decision to be made, gathering relevant information, considering potential outcomes, and ultimately, choosing a course of action. Importantly, Jeffers emphasizes that there is no such thing as a wrong decision, as every decision we make contributes to our growth and development. Throughout the chapter, Jeffers shares personal anecdotes and examples to illustrate how these decision-making strategies can be applied in real-life situations. She also provides readers with exercises and techniques to help them overcome their fear of making decisions and develop greater confidence in their ability to navigate uncertainty. Chapter 6 of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers is titled The 10 Truths About Fear. In this chapter, Jeffers presents readers with 10 fundamental truths about fear that serve as guiding principles for understanding and overcoming it. These truths are based on Jeffers' extensive experience as a psychotherapist and her observations of human behavior. The fear will never go away. Jeffers asserts that fear is a natural part of the human experience and that waiting for it to disappear before taking action is futile. Instead, she encourages readers to accept the presence of fear and move forward despite it. The only way to get rid of the fear of doing something is to go out and do it. Jeffers emphasizes the importance of confronting fears head-on by taking action. She argues that avoidance only reinforces fear and prevents personal growth. The only way to feel better about yourself is to go out and do it. Jeffers suggests that self-confidence is not a prerequisite for taking action, but rather a byproduct of facing fears and achieving success through experience. Not only are you afraid. When you're going to do something new, so is everyone else. Jeffers reassures readers that fear is a universal experience and that they are not alone in their struggles. Recognizing that others also experience fear can provide a sense of camaraderie and support. Pushing through fear is less frightening than living with the underlying fear that comes from a feeling of helplessness. Jeffers argues that the discomfort of pushing through fear is temporary, whereas the ongoing sense of helplessness that comes from avoiding fear is more debilitating in the long run. You don't have to be pushy to get what you want. Jeffers emphasizes that assertiveness and confidence are not synonymous with aggressiveness or pushiness. Instead, she advocates for assertive communication and boundary setting as healthy ways to pursue one's goals. The old rules don't apply. Jeffers challenges traditional beliefs about fear and success, urging readers to question outdated norms and embrace new approaches to achieving their goals. You can handle more than you think you can. Jeffers encourages readers to recognize their own resilience and inner strength, reminding them that they are capable of overcoming obstacles and adversity. You can't handle it. Jeffers counters the common fear-based belief that we won't be able to cope with challenging situations, asserting that we are more resourceful and adaptable than we give ourselves credit for. It's easier to be yourself than anything else. Jeffers encourages readers to embrace authenticity and vulnerability, emphasizing that trying to be someone we're not is a futile effort that only leads to dissatisfaction. Chapter 7 of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers is titled Where to Start. In this pivotal chapter, Jeffers provides readers with practical guidance on taking the first steps toward overcoming fear and embracing a life of courage and empowerment. Jeffers begins by encouraging readers to identify areas of their lives where fear is holding them back. Whether it's pursuing a new career, starting a relationship, or making a major life change, Jeffers emphasizes the importance of acknowledging and confronting our fears head-on. She introduces the concept of stepping out as a powerful technique for breaking free from the grip of fear. Stepping out involves taking small, manageable actions that challenge our comfort zones and build confidence over time. By gradually expanding our boundaries and confronting our fears in a controlled manner, Jeffers argues that we can overcome even the most paralyzing fears and achieve our goals. Moreover, Jeffers offers practical exercises and strategies to help readers implement the stepping out process in their own lives. From creating a fear list to setting achievable goals and celebrating small victories, Jeffers provides readers with a roadmap for navigating the journey from fear to empowerment. Throughout the chapter, Jeffers emphasizes the importance of self-compassion and patience in the process of overcoming fear. She reassures readers that it's okay to take small steps and that progress doesn't happen overnight. By cultivating a mindset of resilience and perseverance, Jeffers believes that readers can overcome any obstacle and achieve their dreams. Chapter 8 of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers is titled The Two Big Fears That Mess Us Up. In this chapter, Jeffers explores two overarching fears that commonly hinder individuals from living fulfilling and authentic lives: the fear of failure and the fear of rejection. The fear of failure. Jeffers acknowledges that the fear of failure is one of the most pervasive and paralyzing fears that individuals face. She explains that this fear often stems from a deep-seated belief that our worth is tied to our achievements, and that failure signifies personal inadequacy or incompetence. Jeffers challenges this fear-based belief, arguing that failure is a natural and inevitable part of the learning process. She encourages readers to reframe their perspective on failure as a valuable opportunity for growth and self-discovery rather than a reflection of their inherent worth. The fear of rejection. Jeffers examines the fear of rejection, another common barrier that prevents individuals from pursuing their goals and asserting themselves in relationships. She explains that this fear often arises from a fear of not being accepted or valued by others. Jeffers emphasizes the importance of distinguishing between rejection of our actions and rejection of our core selves, reminding readers that their worth is not contingent upon the approval of others. She encourages readers to cultivate self-acceptance and resilience in the face of rejection, recognizing that their worth and value are inherent and not dependent on external validation. Throughout the chapter, Jeffers provides readers with practical strategies for overcoming these two big fears. From challenging fear-based beliefs to taking calculated risks and embracing vulnerability, Jeffers empowers readers to confront their fears head-on and pursue their goals with confidence and conviction. Chapter 9 of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers is titled, Where Do We Get the Love We Need? In this chapter, Jeffers explores the concept of love and its significance in overcoming fear and living a fulfilling life. Jeffers begins by examining the fundamental human need for love and connection. She explains that from infancy, humans crave love and affection as a source of comfort, security, and validation. However, Jeffers argues that many individuals grow up with a limited understanding of what love truly means, often equating it with external validation or approval from others. Moreover, Jeffers discusses the role of fear in relationships and how it can impact our ability to give and receive love authentically. She identifies common fear-based behaviors in relationships, such as codependency, jealousy, and emotional manipulation, which stem from a fear of rejection or abandonment. Through insightful anecdotes and relatable examples, Jeffers illustrates how fear can sabotage our relationships and prevent us from experiencing the deep, meaningful connections we desire. She emphasizes the importance of addressing our fears and insecurities to cultivate healthy, fulfilling relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and authenticity. Furthermore, Jeffers explores the concept of self-love and its significance in overcoming fear and building resilience. She encourages readers to cultivate a sense of self-worth and self-compassion, recognizing that true love and acceptance must begin with ourselves. Throughout the chapter, Jeffers provides practical strategies for nurturing self-love and creating fulfilling relationships. From setting boundaries and practicing assertive communication to practicing forgiveness and letting go of past hurts, Jeffers empowers readers to break free from fear-based patterns and embrace love as a transformative force in their lives. Chapter 10 of Feel the Fears and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers is titled Dynamic Techniques for Turning Fear into Power Action. In this chapter, Jeffers provides readers with a toolkit of dynamic techniques and exercises designed to help them confront and overcome their fears, enabling them to take powerful action toward their goals and aspirations. Affirmations. Jeffers introduces the concept of affirmations as a powerful tool for reprogramming the subconscious mind and replacing fear-based beliefs with positive, empowering thoughts. She encourages readers to create personalized affirmations that challenge their limiting beliefs and reinforce their confidence and self-worth. Visualization. Jeffers explores the practice of visualization as a technique for overcoming fear and achieving success. She guides readers through visualization exercises in which they vividly imagine themselves overcoming obstacles and achieving their goals, thereby reprogramming their minds to focus on positive outcomes rather than potential pitfalls. Acting as if. Jeffers advocates for the acting as if technique, in which individuals adopt the mindset and behaviors of the person they aspire to be. By embodying confidence and courage in their actions, even when they feel fearful or uncertain, Individuals can gradually internalize these qualities and become more resilient in the face of challenges. Reframing. Jeffers discusses the power of reframing, or changing the way we perceive and interpret challenging situations. She encourages readers to view fear as a natural and necessary part of growth, and to reframe setbacks as opportunities for learning and personal development. Taking responsibility. Jeffers emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for our thoughts, feelings, and actions. By accepting accountability for our choices and responses to fear, we empower ourselves to take proactive steps toward overcoming it and achieving our goals. Choosing love over fear. Jeffers encourages readers to cultivate a mindset of love and compassion, both towards themselves and others. By choosing love over fear in their thoughts, words, and actions, individuals can create a more positive and empowering inner dialogue that supports their growth and well-being.